legendary gamers.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting StarCraft 2 Shoutcast. I am Mr. Worm. I'm going to be your StarCraft 2 Shoutcast announcer for this 1v1 here on Xelnaga Caverns. In the top right hand corner we do have LinkofShadow as our red Protoss. Down the bottom left we do have Ryuuguu, if I am saying that properly, as the blue Zerg. I've got a little bit of information about both these players. They are both Master League 1v1 obviously, and they have roughly about 50% win-loss ratio. I believe Ryuuguu is just a little bit higher with about 52%. They're both roughly 7,000 to 5,000 in the world with about 1,000 points. So both doing pretty good here. Got a pylon going down, obviously, for LinkofShadow as he moves across. Now, I was unable to find out any additional information about these guys. You know, of course, I did my standard Google search and, you know, see if I can pull up something on the net. I could have cast a lot of other games that were higher class. However, this one came highly recommended because of some type of BM that occurs during the match or at the end of the match or middle of the match. I'm not really sure. But I didn't want to spoil it for myself, so I am watching this for the first time. And of course, here we do see the probe from LinkofShadow coming in here. Little low APM there as he's checking around looking for that pool. And there he goes, queuing up his positions. And he does manage to block the spawning pool, very luckily for him, just for a second. That's only going to catch him a couple extra seconds. Not really a big deal. Go ahead and pull up the production tab here. Actually, let's pull up the harvester count real quick. 13 over 12, so it's looking about even here. And of course, should be seeing that either expansion or additional gas go down for Ryuuguu real quick here, depending on what strategy he's going. If he's going with a Spanishi build, obviously he'll stay away from that initial gas. Here Ryuuguu is using a little bit of his APM, going for the gas steal. So that is going to be interesting in a 1v1, depending on exactly what LinkofShadow decides he's going to do here. I'm probably going to throw down the cybernetics score, and there it goes. So both players looking fairly standard to this point, except for the fact that Ryuuguu is not getting his gas, so he's not going to be going for ling speed or anything like that. I'm a little curious whether he's going to try and apply early pressure with these lings, because he does have two on the being produced right now, but they're probably just for scouting. I don't see a queen coming out. I don't see an additional overlord, so I'm not exactly sure. There's the overlord. Okay, so he is trying to get enough food to prepare himself in the future for expansions. There goes the queen. Here comes the gas. One zealot, of course, blocking off that ramp. If that is blocking, there he goes. These reposition it, and of course he should have that on the hold command, and it is very well done. Okay, so got the stalker coming out the back here. Another pylon going down for LinkofShadow, just trying to keep ahead of his food production, obviously. And Ryuuguu does have this gas, and this is actually really annoying for a Protoss, because if you want to go any type of tech route, you need to be going right about now. And here he's trying to block that that ramp with the... oh, okay, there we go. With that probe, and he does manage to actually secure his internal from getting that Zergling up in here in the natural. Well, he works on getting this extractor down with this zealot chomping away at it. Okay, so there are two queens now, additional coming out for Ryuuguu, so he is going to push for a lot of lings, most likely, getting the spine crawler down for early defense, because he's going to have to go heavy economic, and you see there were 5 drones coming out right there, so he's pushing for a very heavy economic build. And I do see the Twilight Council going down. Where is it? Right there, for LinkofShadow. This is almost certainly at this timing going to be for some kind of Dark Templar harassment. Unfortunately, because this gas is so delayed, if he's anticipating to throw down a Dark Shrine, it would be pretty much useless to him because it's going to come so late. That is, of course, if Ryuuguu's scouting is of any decent caliber. He could push for a Zealot Archon army. That probably wouldn't be too bad. And of course, we will know that depending on whether we see this charge come up with Blinker. Nope, it is going to be the Dark Shrine. So I'm not really sure what he's doing. He's got a lot of Chrono Boosts saved up here. And he's got the Gateway technology finished, but he has not transferred any of these into gateways. So I guess his APM is just a little low here. He's fallen a little behind. And I'm not really sure what he's doing right now, because, I mean, he's almost got completely full energy on this Nexus. And he could be using this money, but I guess he's just going to go ahead and drop the additional gateway. So here we do have 5 gates down. That's a decent amount of production. However, if you look at the food count here, 38 over 42, Ryuuguu is probably going to explode very quickly, and a lot of defense for Ryuuguu. I believe that is 6 spine crawlers going down, so a lot of static defense here in the front. He does have the Evo chamber up, so he will be able to defend himself from any type of DT harassment thrown out spore crawlers, as long as he gets them out, obviously. Some more drones. So he is going fairly heavy economic here, but he's going to need to make more overlords than that, and he's got the money for it. There we go. There's 3 more coming out, and we do see the Dark Templars on the way now. Here they are, warping down on the low ground. Wow, I got to watch my mouse there. So he's got these Dark Templars and a whole bunch of Zealots, and he is going to go ahead and try and push, or maybe not, I guess not. And Ryuuguu at this point has secured the fact that there is no expansion here, so there's nothing at the natural, and he's probably sitting here wondering, because by this point, the Protoss should have at least attempted to make an expansion. So he's got to be knowing that this is some kind of cheese, some kind of one base all in, and naturally you start thinking Void Rays, you start thinking, you know, one base Colossus, or, you know, something to that effect. But here it's going to be the Archon Zealot Stalker mix, I guess. I really don't like this mixture. It's not exactly a great ploy, especially with all this static defense here. And I do not believe that Ryuuguu saw this coming down. LinkofShadow, if he pushes in near this bottom, he might have a chance of getting some kind of harassment, but with these spine crawlers moving around, this mid spine crawler is obviously protected by all these spine crawlers, and this spine crawler is going to end up being protected by that spine crawler, and there's the floor crawler. So I don't know what he thinks he's pushing. He does not have the need. These spine crawlers are nicely macroed behind these Evo chambers. And these Evo chambers, obviously, you know, when they defend themselves, excuse me, if you do manage to focus one down, you have to worry about the little critters that come out of there. I'm sorry, I don't know what the name of them. So LinkofShadow is just like so BS. Well, why? Because he defended himself? Why is that BS? Because if your timing attack doesn't work? I don't understand what he's saying here. So I guess here he's trying to focus down this kind of crawler and then push himself in, but he's not going to get there because Ryuuguu is doing a real good job clogging up this ramp, just kind of using all his queens. And there come the wings to reinforce. So this is probably going to be shut down fairly quickly, because Ryuuguu can just keep pumping links all day long. And then you see at this point, it does look like there are some reinforcements in the back. However, these wings are just going to keep going at these stalkers, and there's only 1 stalker and 1 zealot left now. And that's it. His forces are cleaned up nicely, and here come a pack of 5 stalkers in here to try and push again. However, once again, I'm not really sure how far he's going to get. Does snipe the Overlord, but that is not going to food block Ryuuguu at all. So now he's going for the Evo chamber, and if he does take the Evo chamber out, he will manage to cancel ground carapace level 1. However, with this big flood of lings, and of course lings work very well against stalkers. In case poor LinkofShadow here was unaware of that, if your opponent is going under the Zergling, probably should not make stalkers, and of course they do clean them up very quickly. And they are speedlings, and they are well upgraded, and here come more stalkers, and these are almost certainly going to get surrounded. No, a little poor micro there by Ryuuguu. It's probably macro and back to the green base again. And here LinkofShadow is obviously trying to throw out some kind of... He's got Dark Templar and 3 Zealots sitting here, and they're really not doing him a whole lot of good. And they wonder why they get called Zerg overpowered. Apparently LinkofShadow hasn't been paying attention to the ladder very much. Ryuuguu is asking him if he is still on 1 base, because he is very confused here. No money. What are you talking about? He just had 700 minerals. So LinkofShadow just making some fairly ridiculous BM at this point. I mean, LinkofShadow is a master leaguer player with a 50% win-loss. LOL, I can build 1 billion spines and not care, not like I'm behind. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Ryuuguu here. So of course they're gonna just go ahead and BM back and forth here. So this is why Everybody was so upset. There were a lot of people commenting about this game about how LinkofShadow obviously was a QQing quite a bit about his inability to I don't want to say defeat, because obviously this game is probably going to end here very soon, but make any headway at all in the game. And here comes LinkofShadow in for the push. He does take down one Spine Crawler. Zergling's coming in from the back. He does have these Dark Templar in here, but of course there should be a Spore Crawler. It is down here. The Dark Templar should be well within the detection range. They are going to get sniped and overpowered, and LinkofShadow is going to get completely overrun and denied here. LinkofShadow telling Ryuuguu that he is 4 times better than Ryuuguu is, and that he gets the win. And that's it. No GG. LinkofShadow just leaves the game. Well, this is probably one of the best ways to tell you how not to play. He did a standard wall off here at the beginning. Zealot in the front, very well. There was a gas steal, but then he tried to go Dark Templar, and that's really not an economical choice. When a gas steal occurs, you want to pump more Zealots and mineral-heavy units as a basic defense. What gas you have left over you want to use for sentries, and then you want to try and expand, or get out cannons and expand, but you need to branch out, because a one gas Protoss is just not a good way. It's not a good play. It's not somewhere you want to be. So Ryuuguu fast expanded. He put a bunch of spines down. He teched up. I mean, he went all kinds of tech paths here. This was probably a waste here, because he's got the Infestor Pit. I don't know if he actually has any Infestors on the field. No, he does not. He has the Hydralisk Den. There are no Hydras. He's got the Roach Warren. There are no Roaches. I mean, he set himself up to be ready for anything, and that was probably a waste. He probably could have actually ended this game considerably earlier. Now, the fact that LinkofShadow just left the game is another clear indication that he was unprepared to play this game out. He went for a one base all-in and it failed miserably, and that's really just kind of a tough situation there. When you time yourself up for a timing push, you have to realize that when you push, you need to expand behind the push. And if he didn't expand behind the push, he obviously can't sit around and complain about how somebody else is better than him. Or how the race for Zerg is overpowered. Most of the top pros right now are playing Protoss right now. If you look at the top charts, I believe there are a couple of Zergs in there, and there are a couple of Terrans. Actually, there's quite a lot of Terrans, and then there are quite a few of Protoss in there. And whereas before, you know, if you looked at the main leaderboard rankings, you know, globally, I would say 6 months or a year ago, almost everyone was Terran. Almost every single high-skill professional player knows that Terran was very well powered. But as the metagames developed, obviously, you know, there became a lot more balance. When people learned how to Ling Flood and Baneling Bust, and you know, do good controls, and then Infestor play came in, obviously. And these are a lot of things coined by Destiny, and then the Ling Muta that you see a lot of play from Nesty and Idra and a lot of those top players. So yeah, Link, I'm sorry, buddy, you just played horribly this game. 23 Harvester, one base all in that just failed. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed my cast, and I will see you next time.